For my final destination on my 7-day JR pass, I'm heading to Hiroshima. It's actually day 6 on my pass, but I've just finished up in Nara and it takes a little while to get to Hiroshima from there, even on the Shinkansen or bullet train. I'm staying in a hotel in the city close to the train station, but one of the first things I saw as I took the short walk to my bed for the night were these really lovely trams that run throughout the city. These are really cute, especially in the fading light of the day. I made my way to my hotel, and you have plenty of choices of places to stay in a big city like Hiroshima. I chose this place, the Sotetsu Freezer Inn, just 3 minutes walk from the station, as it offers pretty good value for money and a really comfortable bed for the night, as well as a decent, if small, room, amenities and pajamas to sleep in too. In fact, that's one thing I noticed in Japan. Lots of hotels provide pajamas or a yukata to sleep in, which meant I didn't even have to pack pajamas in my case for this trip. Anything to save weight and space in my bag on a trip like this is very welcome indeed. Once I'd settled in, I headed over to a local place close to the station that had a massive choice of places to eat. I went for one of the local staples, Okonomiyaki. Okonomiyaki is a delicious Japanese pancake made with flour batter and cooked on a flat griddle. In most places, you add cabbage, meat, and seafood, and toppings including okonomiyaki sauce, made with Worcestershire sauce, aonori, that's dried seaweed flakes, katsuobushi, that's tuna bonito flakes, and Japanese mayonnaise and pickled ginger. Okonomiyaki is mainly linked to 2 different types from Hiroshima or the Kansai region in Japan, Osaka. But you can find it everywhere with different toppings and batters depending upon where you are. The name is derived from the word okonomi, meaning how you like or what you like, and yaki, meaning grilled. Now, in Hiroshima, things are a little different. The ingredients for okonomiyaki include soba or udon noodles and a fried egg. Unlike in Osaka, the ingredients are not all mixed together. Cooking a Hiroshima-style okonomiyaki involves layering of ingredients. First the batter, then the noodles, and then the toppings, which are piled high at the beginning and then flipped frequently while cooking. The final result resembles something of a noodle pancake. Since it's trickier to cook, professionals usually handle the meal in Hiroshima instead of you doing it yourself, which is what happens in some restaurants that do a more traditional okonomiyaki. Now, my dinner was just truly excellent. I started off sitting at a table, but then I asked to be moved to the bar so I could film my dinner being made for me and also experience the delicious smells whilst it was all coming together. Just watching it now whilst making this video is making my mouth water all over again. I lingered over my dinner and then headed back to my hotel because I had an early start. The next morning, I headed over to Miyajima, a beautiful island off the coast of Hiroshima, which I successfully managed to get around and have an awesome time in just half a day. I've got a separate video to that, which you can find in the video description. I even had a Hiroshima style okonomiyaki in a bun on a boat as my lunch on my way back to the mainland. Okay, when I got back to shore, I had a few hours to explore Hiroshima before I had to get on the bullet train back to Tokyo before midnight and the expiry of my JR pass. So there's really only one thing you have to do when short of time in Hiroshima, and that's to visit the Hiroshima Peace Memorial. The Hiroshima Peace Memorial, originally called the Hiroshima Prefectural Industrial Promotion Hall, is now commonly known as the Genbaku Dome or A-Bomb Dome. It's in the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park and was designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1996. Now, the A-Bomb Dome was the only structure left standing in the vicinity after the atomic bombing of Hiroshima during World War II. The A-Bomb Dome building remained intact since the explosion happened almost directly above it. The vertical columns of the building withstood the blast's downward force, allowing sections of the outer walls to survive. It's permanently kept in a state of preserved ruin as a reminder of the destructive effects of nuclear warfare. During the Second World War at 8:15 AM on the 6th of August 1945, the first atomic bomb to be used in war was dropped on Hiroshima. The bomb had a force equivalent to 15,000 tons of TNT and effectively obliterated the city. And this was the only footage I took inside the Peace Memorial Museum because it is a frankly harrowing affair, and many people were moved to tears inside, including myself. A lot of tears. Having said that, I definitely recommend that you go and visit, even if it makes you sad, even despairing. The peace movement that has sprung out of Hiroshima is melancholy but also inspiring, and it's worth reflecting on in these troubling times that we live in. As you move around the memorial park, you'll see that the queues to visit and pay respects at certain monuments, and even to get into the memorial museum, will eat up your time. It took me 50 minutes in this queue, so be sure to budget for a whole morning or afternoon, but also plan to feel quite overwhelmed by it all. Make sure you've got something soothing and comforting to do afterwards, or understanding people to be with during and after your visit of this part of Hiroshima. These days, Hiroshima is so much more than just the Peace Memorial. The Shukkei-en garden is widely regarded as one of the most exquisite gardens in the entire region. Don't forget to try those Hiroshima-style okonomiyakis, and make sure to visit the hidden gem of Mitaki-Dera temple if you have time. And yes, you could spend a whole day or even two on Miyajima Island. But the bombing is an inescapable part of Hiroshima's past and will continue to help shape its future. People affected by the blast and their descendants are still living with the trauma of the bombing. As I finished up at the park, I started to wander back to my hotel and stopped for an ice cream because it was so very hot. And with that, I picked up my bags at the hotel. You see why I chose a hotel by the station now, and headed over to catch my bullet train back to Tokyo to beat my midnight curfew. If you've just found my channel and this video, check out the whole series describing my 7-day Japan Rail Pass experience and adventure. You can start here, and be sure to subscribe for all things travel and tech from me. I'll see you in the next video.